It was late 24 when Peter, my patron and friend, emailed me about commissioning a specific tank from the Sherwood Rangers regiment. At first it seemed like just another collector's project, but over time it became something extraordinary. A book about the unit's exploits in Europe during 44 and 45 Band of Brothers by James Holland changed my perspective. Its vivid descriptions and soldier profiles deepened my emotional connection. These soldiers were a territorial unit, and now I felt a similar link, albeit in a different part of Europe. Researching the tank, the Blue Light Special, its crew, fates and photos built emotional intensity and motivation. By June 25, when my schedule freed up, I was ready to complete the project. I enjoyed this build more than any other, which showed in my increased effort and dedication. I had complete creative freedom for the model's construction, painting and finishing, including the base. Peter suggested adding a figure of a little boy representing my son Titus. This addition fit perfectly into the diorama, depicting a scene of crew members and a waving boy. For the beginning of my work I had only 2 pictures with Blue Light Special tank. The first one were likely taken with very happy and newly liberated Dutch civilians in Hengelo, April 3rd, 45. On the left is Trooper John Snetker and on the right is the tank commander Corporal John Kruper. 10 days later, on April 13th, during a B Squadron attack on the German town of Kloppenburg, Snetker was killed by machine gun fire when he ran forward on foot to try to rescue the crew of another tank which had been hit by a Panzerfaust. The second picture shows more details, but we still have a lot of doubts about tank's general look. The soldiers sitting next to the tank are Frank Milner on the left and Ted King on the right. I don't know the soldier in the middle. By the way, I had the message from the son and grandson of Frank Milner after they received my photo album with full story of this project. It was another blast and a link in the chain that makes this project so important to me. Okay, again look at the pictures shown a couple seconds before to catch all the details. The tank's proper name, Blue Light Special. After enlarging, I was able to detect differences in font size and the size of the lettering, which I later tried to replicate onto the model. Originally the lettering was hand-painted by the commander, hence the uneven size and shape of the letters. Here we have also the vertical streaks visible in both photos. They were durable enough to clearly stand out on the armor. Next we have a box on the fender, a common practice used by crews to carry various pieces of equipment and crew personal belongings. The same as a camouflage netting placed on the front armor. And for the end we have tracks with special attachable duckbill elements. These are special wider segments. They were placed on the standard tracks to increase their width. This allowed the tracks to have a larger contact surface with the ground, preventing the tank from getting stuck. In the end, look at the gun barrel. This is special painting, visually shortening its length. Now, after the analyzing of the first picture, let's take a look at the details in the second. Blue Light Special is in the same location, so we are sure that this is our tank. The vertical streaks next to the name are confirmed, the duckbills are more visible, the towing cable on the turret is also visible, and some storage elements are difficult to identify, but there are undoubtedly a few tarps. After the model was completed, I found third picture taken from the rear left, showing more details, and I undoubtedly would have arranged a few of them differently, but I know from experience that these were moving parts, so their placement on one day didn't necessarily have to be identical the next. But a distinctive feature of both photos is a bicycle that was liberated by Frank Milner during the attack on Germany. These 2 photos were taken around the same time on April 14th, 45, after the attack on the German town of Kloppenburg the day before. Okay, after this long photo analyzing, which I thought was quite helpful in understanding all the work I did on the model, it's time to start building. The Asuka kit is one of the best set of Firefly available on the market. I already had experience with this model, having built it for a book published by AK Interactive a few years earlier. If you'd like to see it, click the link in the description below this video. So, to complete it, I've collected quite a few aftermarket kits. Of course, not all of them will be used, but I always say it's better to have more and choose from them than to run out of something. First, the chassis. To make the work easier, I use a screwdriver to attach the road wheels. It looks like a lathe and definitely speeds up the work. I use the hobby knife and then a coarse and fine sanding sponge to prepare all the wheels. Then I started assembling the quick tracks. I replaced the tracks with 3D printed movable ones. The kit, like others from this manufacturer, is based on the snap-on method, so no tools are needed. One element is simply pressed into the another. I mixed two sets with different patterns on the overlays. It isn't new, as you often see different track types mixed together on vehicles. This was due to the needs of the moment and the materials available in the field workshops. The Blue Light Special had duck-bill tracks, so I'm also using them here. The hull and its equipment were assembled quite quickly. The perfect fit of the components made the work much easier. Having several sets of Sherman parts from HD models at my disposal, I started assembling the appropriate parts to replace the plastic ones. You have to cut each piece carefully to avoid damaging it, as they are very delicate. This isn't a drawback at all, but definitely an advantage, as they reflect the actual appearance of the parts. To glue them to the model, I use a special glue by VMS for printed parts. Just to check the HD models offer, please click the link below the video. You will be redirected to the online web store with huge amount of sets for different scales, periods and nationalities. I can truly highly recommend their products. I replaced the handles on the crew hatches with metal ones. I also used CA glue to attach them and removed the excess with the bonder, leaving a subtool joint without any excess glue spillage. For the towing cables, I used the world's best line by Eureka XXL. I measured the length recommended by the manufacturer in the instructions and added resin ends. I will apply them to the model later. A mixture of glue and putty is ideal for creating an improved texture on cast steel. The resulting unevenness perfectly replicates real steel. However, it's worth testing how it looks on a real vehicle to avoid overdoing the unevenness. Each vehicle has its own distinctive and individual characteristics, so we'll treat the surface differently on a Sherman, a T-34 and yet another on a German Panther. Gentle sanding brings the surface to perfect condition. The metal barrel produced by Master Model for this miniature looks perfect. Its assembly was a piece of cake. The same goes for the small machine gun barrel, which complements it perfectly. I couldn't imagine leaving such beautiful additions without using them on the model. The distinctive additional box for the rear of the turret is produced by the aforementioned HD models. It's a great addition that offers many possibilities. It just needs a little sanding and is ready for assembly. The master model barrel also comes with antennas for British vehicles. Several options with different socket types are 3D printed. Additionally, the package includes perfectly prepared antenna rods. Just like on the hull, I also started preparing the appropriate steel texture on the turret using the same methods and products as before. Let the work go on, and I would like to mention my wonderful patrons who support my activity. Massive thanks, guys! My special words of gratitude go to Bulldog09, Christopher Robarski, Dale Etchison, Dan Dubois, Hans Zub, Peter L, Steve Ankin and Karsten Kerry. But the people listed just now are also my great patrons. They all believed in my passion, saw something valuable in it and decided to support me. It's really great when you know that there are a few crazy guys in the world who think like you, want to watch what you build and appreciate the effects of your work. One of the details I noticed in the Blue Light Special photo is a weld line on the additional armor which looks different than the model producer suggests. First I removed the plastic welds, then carved a deeper groove for the new ones and then created new welds by laying lines of green stuff. I achieved the desired shapes using a hobby knife. I did the same on the other side of the hull. The result is definitely better than before the entire operation. On the Blue Light Special and other tanks of this unit you can see additional boxes added by crew which likely housed various tools and equipment. These were most often bolted to the fenders. Fortunately, the producer provides nice set of extra stuff and the modeler has a lot of options to upgrade the model. At this point I prepared the individual components for painting. I drilled holes in each carriage and inserted a wooden stick into it for easier handling during further work. I always choose the least visible places, but at the same time pay attention to the construction of the entire element so as not to damage it during drilling. I do this with almost every model, which is why the sticks are painted in different shades. I glued nuts into the hull and turrets to hold the bolts. These provide good grips while working on the model. I've been using this simple method for years and it's never failed me. Simplicity is the best solution, and in this case the ability to manipulate the model is crucial for comfortable work. If you found this content valuable, please give it a like, share it and subscribe to expand our tactical reach. Feel free to leave a tactical comment of at least 7 words to help boost the algorithm.